Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving School.
Hello and welcome to Owen the Town. My name's Dave. Here's what's coming up today. Fresh off our first league visit to Old Trafford since 1991, the Hatters put up a fantastic performance, but just couldn't make it count. And we come away there with no points. Man United get all three with a very narrow 1-0 victory. We'll talk about that game in full in a little bit more detail. Our player focus tonight is the former Manchester United player Teden Mengi, and just how good is a player we got here, you know, and how much better can he get. We're going to talk about that and a little bit more, have your reviews on that. We've got your 3-word reviews and much more tonight. And fresh to the podcast yet again this weekend, or from this weekend, we got Bataro and Steve. Fellas, how you going?
Hello. Good. You? All good?
Lovely. Thanks very much, mate.
Brilliant.
It was a good trip, Steve. I know you couldn't make the trip, but you watched the game, and
Thank God for that.
yeah.
Sorry, mate.
What? Thank God he didn't make the trip.
Yeah.
It's harsh, isn't it? That's
Well,
really
it's quite nice
that's not
about
a good
him.
start, is
I mean,
it?
to be fair, I had a massive hangover, so it's like, yeah, thank God he's not here.
When you get to Old Trafford, you know you probably get caught up in all the former glory of that club. It's a massive club. It has a massive following throughout the world. It was quite apparent. There was a lot of tourists around. It's quite apparent, Batara, would you say? And
Yeah.
you know, we didn't
Crazy.
buy half and half scarf, but there was plenty on sale.
Oh, it's just ridiculous. I mean, from the moment we turned up, I mean, what time did we get there? About 11:30, maybe, quarter to 12-ish. And even from then, you had people walking around, obviously, around that part of Manchester, towards, obviously, Salford and whatnot. But yeah, half and half scarves, literally probably, you say every sort of like quarter of a mile.
Yeah,
It was a joke. It was
and
an absolute joke, yeah.
the type of people that I know buy those at the first games, kids and things like that. I get that. Adults in them and myself, I just don't understand.
Tourists.
Yes,
tourists, yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
They were there. Some people were queuing. I think there was a massive queue just to get to the megastore, wasn't there? And you can clearly see there was just all tourists.
Look, they know how to market their club,
Yeah.
and you can't put aside how big Manchester United are and how brilliant their club has been over the years. I don't think they're at that stage right now, but you know they are an enormous club. I just want to say also that the Lime Bar where we ended up,
Quality, yeah.
if Mick or Gary or David Wilkinson are listening to this, nice to see you in there. It was a good atmosphere all day.
Yeah, it was a good trip. Like I said, I think we got parking probably about a 10-minute walk from the stadium. Thanks to myself. Dave didn't trust me, but, you know, come up with the goods yet again.
Is it true, Bataro, that you claimed you were a resident and told someone to move their vehicle?
Yes, I did, yeah.
That's a good
Yeah,
move. I
to
like
be
that.
fair, though, he was trying to block the space for someone else. But I was like, no, sorry, mate, you can't do that. It's a driving instructor, you know, and this is our space, blah, blah, blah.
And there we were in it.
Yeah.
It's good to be back on this big stage, and you know, disappointing for the result. But the game itself, we'll talk about in a moment. But it was a pretty good atmosphere for the away fans, and I don't know whether the aesthetics of the stadium meant we didn't hear Manchester United fans, but it was so quiet.
It was silent from the Man U fans. I watched it live. It was silent all afternoon. All you heard was the Luton fans.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like that's what Dave said to me. I think it got to the second half. He's like, "Do you think maybe it's because we're so high up and obviously the way the stadium's built?" And I went, "No, Dave. Honestly, you cannot hear a thing. Even when we stopped singing for maybe 30 seconds, it was just really poor from their behalf."
I saw one clip on Twitter. I refuse to call it by its new name. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
and it was with the Luton fans to the right-hand side of the person that was taking it. And it was as the players were coming over to get their ovation at the end, and the noise from the Luton fans was brilliant. And you could clearly see 40 or 50-odd Man U fans all clapping the Luton fans. And I thought, there you go.
Respect,
so you know what it's about.
Talk about clapping the Luton fans after the press we had last week when we played Liverpool. It was brilliant to see that, as we expected anyway, the minute silence was impeccable.
Yeah, it was.
It was amazing. It's quite emotional on those days,
Yeah, it
isn't
gives
it?
you goosebumps, doesn't it, really, when you hear it? But it's,
I'll say,
brilliant.
Man U do sort of events like that really well. You know, on previous occasions, you know, the players have walked out in complete silence. So, no, I think they know what they're doing with things like that.
It was very, very moving, and I have relatives that were involved in both wars and or both world wars. I know there's been plenty more, and it was just an amazing tribute. Well done to every fan, but given the crap that we had the previous week with regards to chanting and whatever else, Luton fans, we were exceptional.
Yeah,
exceptional.
Brilliant.
Let's have a look at your 3 word reviews from Manchester United 1, Luton Town 0. We have Nick says another flipping defeat. Yeah. Victor competing once again. Ashley stayed in the game. Phil, he's full of pride. Ben, really, really unlucky. Louise, lacking final third. Darren said, be more braver. Nice words. John Morris, too isolated. Graham, time wasting Red Devils. And finally, Simon says, we deserve something. Take your pick of those boys.
2 if I can.
First, every week you do 2, Steve.
Yeah, I know, it's because I'm greedy. Now, Darren, he said, be more braver. I'm not saying he's wrong, but what I'm saying is that grammatically correct? Should it be braver, and he's just put more in to make it up to 3?
Or be more brave?
Be more brave, yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I knew he was going to pick up on that.
Anyway,
so Darren, yeah, ignore that, mate.
Push on.
Very, very good. Louise, lacking final third.
Yeah. But Tara, anything for you?
I mean, competing once again, I always go for a positive on this one. I feel like we did compete. Yeah, admittedly, I think they had probably the better chances, which is pretty clear to see. I think they had 2 or 3 maybe in the game where, we'll get into that. But, that, and if you're going to go for 2, maybe lacking final third.
So the same as Steve. And when you say lacking final third, we've got the strikers there. And we did create some chances. Let's be fair. We did create some chances. I want to say, and I think I said this to you on the day, Bataro, when I was at Aston Villa, every time Villa got the ball and they went forward, I think, oh, Jesus Christ, here comes a goal, or they are so quick, they are so good. I didn't feel that on Saturday. I didn't feel that Manchester United had the same threat as Aston Villa, which is a strange thing to say, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't feel sort of stressed out about Man U. I mean, they're not in a great place at the moment, but not by their standards, by Premier League standards, they were very average. The amount of balls that went straight out of play from crosses and things like that, it's not what you expect to see from a team like that. The lacking final third, we'll go into the game a bit more. Morris had a lovely header. You couldn't have asked any more. He was quite a long way out. I just don't think there's enough goals in us. We've scored 2 goals on only 2 occasions. The great comeback against Forest and Everton, and you're asking too much of the defensive side of the team to keep clean sheets week in, week out. And I'm totally accepting of our situation, sort of financially and with the players that we've got, and they're doing absolutely everything. But I just think that we're coming up short in that regard.
But Tari, when we was there, I said to you, I didn't expect us to win to start with. I was hoping we'd get something out of the game. The hope was there.
Yeah.
But you don't expect us to win. But when you think about who we've just played, Liverpool are now second in the division. Manchester United only 6 points off the top place.
Yeah, see, I didn't realise that until the way back.
Only 6 points. So as much as people say they're not doing very well, they're only 6 points off the top place. So when you think about the quality of the teams, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Manchester United, we've put up a show this time.
I mean, look, what I was going to say, with all due respect to Man United, if I have to give them any, is the fact, I know what you were saying about the Liverpool game, but what I will say about the United game is, and I've watched them a few times this season, and I'll be honest, they bore me to death the way they play this style of football. It's almost like it's very cautious, like build up. It's very almost like negative in a way.
You remember under Fergie when they were playing well, there would be a relentless flow going forwards, and you couldn't stop it. This seems very manufactured and slow and deliberate. There's no natural sort of feel to what they're doing at the moment.
Because what I will say is obviously about the possession stats. I don't know how much possession we had. I mean, they had 64% possession, but do you know what? Probably about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of that game was only probably played in their half. You know what I mean? It's, if not more.
20 minutes in, it was 75-25, but I think the second half was almost 50-50.
Yeah.
Which for us is crazy, having that much.
Well, you talk about the times when Manchester United were the team to beat. You go to Old Trafford fully expecting to not win. In the same way that if you go to Manchester City now, you're probably thinking there's not a chance we can win.
But
And not just mean us, I mean any team goes there.
This is the thing. I think that just shows like how far we've actually come as a club, though, as a team. The fact that we've gone to Man United, Old Trafford, and gone, do you know what? We're a bit. I wouldn't say gutted. I think gutted was probably against Liverpool. Slightly disappointed that we could have taken a better chance.
100% disappointed we came away with nothing. I think we deserved something. And I think that was my 3-word review. We deserved something. But what I'm saying is no team, doesn't matter who you are, goes to that stadium anymore in fear of playing Manchester United. In the previous years, back in the 90s and the 80s when they were relatively good in the 80s, brilliant in the 90s, you'd go to Manchester United and you'd go, there's no chance we're going to win. And our record there proves that. Yeah. Because we've never won there. No. I didn't feel that Saturday.
No. I mean, it was a bit like that, wasn't it? It was just like, I mean, like I said about their style of play, and I thought to myself, is that maybe Man United, the confidence is maybe slightly low, people are getting on their back, and maybe it does drop off. I don't know. Because some of the players they've got, they're not characters as they once had, the likes of your
not
Rooney's
characters,
and
but
your
they're
whatever
world-class
else.
players, Bataro.
See,
they are world-class players.
I disagree.
I
I
agree.
don't
No, they
think
are.
all of them are. No, sorry, Dave. I don't. I'd say
They
maybe a
have
couple.
world-class players. So Rashford's not a world-class player.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't rate him that highly personally, but people might disagree with us. But I know what you're saying. There's players that have come with in high regard, and you look at it and go, oh, they cost him. I think people look at the price tag and go, oh, 70 odd million for Anthony. He must be really good. Well, realistically, he's not.
Just as an aside, actually, seeing Harry Maguire play, I've seen him play for England.
He was their best player, by the way.
He played all right, didn't he?
Yeah, but it's
relative, isn't it?
It's easy to take the mickey out of him, isn't it? And that's why he's getting a lot of it.
I like him, to be fair. I'm going to put my hands up. I really like Harry Maguire. I think he's a good player. But yeah.
Let's think about the game then. United started quite quickly. I think they had a few good chances really, really early in the game. They had a lot of possession. And on the day when this happened, was it Hoyland?
Yeah.
I can't sum up how brilliant Kaminsky's save was.
Yeah, it was absolutely superb. I mean, we obviously done a good job because obviously I watched it at home, and being the saddo, I've done some notes, and the first note I've got is 11 minutes, and it's Kaminsky's save. So the first 10 minutes we were totally
under the cosh.
But nothing to worry about, or else it'd have been in my notes. But yeah, what a save from Kaminsky, but it was like the one he done at Villa. So yeah, he is fast feeling that he feels part of being a Premier League player.
And what I will say, touching on world class, obviously I'm not saying he's world class, but he has made some world class saves this season as well. Now, I've kept us in games as well at times. So do you know what? Big round of applause for that guy, because he is phenomenal at shot stopping, isn't he?
Yeah.
Reaction save, great.
It seems that we've started all our games in the Premier League where we're on the back foot straight away. I would say, maybe with the exception of Burnley and Wolves, and Fulham, actually. We weren't too bad at Fulham.
Do you feel this is, again, where we felt we've started slowly surrendering the ball?
I think we start slowly just to get our feet in the game.
Yeah.
And, United did create chances and they could have scored, but our defence was pretty solid and our goalkeeper was exceptional.
And to be fair, even our shape as well. I mean, we were quite high up, so we got a good view of the pitch, didn't we? And obviously a great angle. And I don't know about you boys when you go to football, but especially when you're high up and you can see the whole pitch, sort of like a bird's eye view, I always look at the shape. I'm constantly watching the shape of the team. And I'll tell you what, our shape...
It was phenomenal.
Wow,
it was good,
This season has been fantastic, It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and this is the reason why we've been in every single game so far. Defensively, it's absolutely sound. And I say, it is just the goals. Because you can't expect the defence to be holding out, but we are making it so difficult for other teams. It would just be great if someone could give us Ivan Toney or something like that.
Someone give us Ivan Toney. Yeah, we'll have him. Yeah, let's have him for free. Why not? He's looking for a new club, I would imagine. If he goes back to Brentford, he's going to be phenomenal at Brentford.
Yeah, and he would have he'd have an old friend from Brentford in Luke, wouldn't he?
Yeah, but they're all. Other clubs are courting him anyway. You can see that the offer will come in, and will Brentford let that offer go? Who knows?
No, but it just shows you how close we are to being more than a team that's making a fight
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
It just shows you how close we are.
It's actually going from sort of like beginning of the season where people are actually going, "Oh, Luton, get out of the Premier League."
Yeah, you're whipping
useless,
boys,
You know what I mean? You're actually not making a fight. You're making it boring. Until people actually the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks going, "Do you know what? Hats off to Luton."
Well,
They've actually done all right.
on that point, if you think about Burnley's progression, I mean, they stormed the Championship, which apparently was really bad.
But Dave, they're just unlucky. Remember?
Yeah, well, I'm going to say is, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me, any other manager with the form that Vincent Kompany has shown in this league would have been sacked.
With the amount of money spent as well, I think
He would have been sacked.
It's near on £90 million, I believe, £80 million, something like that.
Yeah.
It's
Why
ridiculous.
hasn't he gone?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, mate.
But we're not going to get rid of Robbie Edwards because he's Luton, isn't he?
He's the man. Yeah, of course, he's the man, mate. He's the man. Yeah.
On the game itself on Saturday, then, so we sort of the onslaught started, and we stopped it. And then, Steve, you've got loads more notes. Do you want to say anything before I get on to the
Well, no,
session?
I was saying 19, 20 minutes starting to press a bit higher.
Yeah,
We're starting to impose ourselves. So it took us, with the slow start, it took us 19 or 20 minutes to get to maybe where a starting point was. But yeah, we started to press a bit higher and try to impose ourselves on the game, even if it was without the ball to a large degree.
No, I'm really impressed. Sorry, just looking at your notes, man. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, it's really cool.
No, not that. Just the fact that he can read his own notes, because that's disgraceful, that handwriting.
Going to say it's like a doctor's prescription, isn't it?
It literally is.
Right.
Awful.
Ogbenny's been brilliant this season. He gets our first chance, Pataro, and first shot on goal for us that I think really on target was from him. Easy save for Onana.
Yeah, you can't say much more, really, can you?
Straight at him.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Really, yeah, that's it. You summed it up. It's simple save for the keeper, but look,
They couldn't cope
at least
with
got a shot
us.
on target, I guess.
They couldn't cope with us down the sides on the right hand side when we were attacking them, and then second half on the left hand side as well. And then just after 30 minutes, we get the chance from Morris. Now, I think, did the ball just break to us? Did we chase it down? I can't remember. But Kabore straight down.
Yeah, I think it was a pass up the wing to him because it broke to our sort of right wing back area and it was played up the line to Kabore.
Kabore had, just about to say, and touching Kabore, he had acres of space quite a lot of the time in the first and the second half, to be fair to him as well. He was finding pockets when he down that right hand side. I don't know if it was like a tactical thing from whoever.
So when the ball comes over and from where we were standing, you look up and you see Morris. He's got a free header.
He'd got a beautiful position in between the two defenders. Yeah, he got that absolutely spot on.
Right. So on the day itself, I thought glorious chance. Should he have scored?
No, I was going to say, if he couldn't do any more than that. Personally, that's what I think.
It was a long way out. I think he was just the other side of the penalty spot, sort of in the line and that.
Yeah.
It was a good connection, on target. I don't think you could have asked much more of him.
No, you couldn't.
He connected really well.
Yeah.
I mean, put it this way. Say, for example, back in the day, Andy Carroll, you put a delivery in that and you go, Andy Carroll might, you expect him to score. He's so good in the air. But realistically, even if the keeper was safe from him, you wouldn't have any worries about it.
It was a good chance, though.
It was a good chance, and he made the most of it because he was quite a long way out. If he was 3 yards nearer in, then you've got to say you've got to put that away. But it was a long way out.
Yeah.
Lovely connection, on target, nice and crisp. Just
good connection as well. Like I say, good connection. It was. It's just the keeper was well positioned. I think we've got to credit the goalkeeper here as well.
I was going to ask that question there. Onana, was he well positioned? That was my first question, and my second question was, did he make it look good for the cameras, or was it an excellent save?
It was a good save. It's a very, very good save.
Yeah, it wasn't an absolute oh my god save, but he was well positioned. If you think Morris was sort of level with the near post, so he's not going to be sort of towards the back post having to scramble. So he was positioned right, which made the save easier.
Yeah.
So disappointing, but then I think again, Bataro, on Saturday I said to you, we need to get half-time 0-0 because they were pressing, and I think get 0-0, regroup and come out, and we managed that.
Yeah, I think we've all felt, to be fair, that we were confident in the fact that we would get to half-time, and get to a 0-0. But obviously certain things obviously pop up occasionally. What happens. you can see silly goals, but I did not feel any threat really from Man United apart from the 2 opportunities they had. I didn't feel like they were getting behind much. It was very passive. I don't know. It was just.
Well, the same.
I was confident. I was very confident that we wouldn't concede.
We said already at Villa when that happened. Every time Villa got the ball, you thought, "Oh, here we go." And I thought we did lucky to just lose 3-0 at Villa. At Manchester United, I just didn't
3-1. Villa.
Yeah, sorry, thank you for that. I forgot. Yeah, it was the OG. I didn't count it for us.
You're so happy with yourself, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay, one for you.
Yeah,
I'll get you back.
but 40.
What I'm trying to say to you is that every time Villa got the ball, went forward, I thought, here comes a goal. I didn't feel that at Liverpool at home. I didn't feel that at Tottenham at home. I didn't feel that at West Ham. Tottenham at the beginning, really, really fast. But for me, Manchester United, I didn't feel that they were breaking us down as quickly or as easily as some other teams have.
No, they did break us down in the 40th minute, though. I think Kabore got caught upfield.
Oh, yes.
Hopelessly out of position. They played it out to Garnacho, but I've said Kabore was hopelessly out of position, but it was him that recovered and sort of got the ball. I mean, Kaminsky held him up well. He made him sort of go around him. So again, Kaminsky done really well there, but Kabore did get back and sort of got it. But they did carve us over.
Yeah, that was probably the only time you look at it and go, like I said about shape about 5 minutes ago. It's probably the only time you look at it and go, actually, the shape there is terrible. But then I can't really remember the phase of forward in the play, but do we get caught on a counter at all?
I think so. He was caught upfield and that. I mean,
so I can understand why in a sense, but like you say, it was great recovery.
But in those positions, maybe should we have shuffled across though?
Yeah. Possibly. That.
But also good composed half from Barkley. Again,
Ross Barkley we haven't even mentioned.
I know, but it's lovely because after the Liverpool one, we said, right, now we want to see it again more often, and we did. If we can just find his shooting boots, then you're close to getting the ideal Ross Barkley back.
It's game time, isn't it? It's game time.
He's looking sharper and sharper. The weeks go by, he's looking sharper. To be fair to him, and do you know what? Some of the passes he makes, the basic passes, but you look at it and you go, like outside the boot pass. I know, like you say, people are going, but anyone could do that.
But it's the simple things though that rather than passing it to someone's feet on occasions, you pass it in front of them so they can run. Because that just slows down the whole move. But good half from him.
A fit Ross Barkley, a fit Ross Barkley, or a fit Jordan Clark. Who starts?
It's a tough one, isn't it? I think they both start, to be fair, in the same midfield. So.
Steve, you're quiet.
It's close, isn't it? Because Clark has done it and sort of created so many great chances for us. I would suggest that Clark's probably a better finisher. Maybe. I'm not saying he's more composed. It's just Barkley's shooting hasn't been there so far. But I think they're two different players. Yeah. Similar positions, but they play it in a different way. So it's a cracking question, which I'm not going to answer.
I think you might even see Jordan Clark play a little bit different as well. Like he might come on potentially on the left or the right of wing back every now and then if we need him as well. You might not. Look, I mean, last season I think he played left or right of the midfield, basically the three, holding and obviously one or two there. But he can play holding as well. That's the thing.
It will be quite an interesting one for Edwards to sort out.
That's why we've got a manager, isn't it, and this coaching staff. Second halves, we've always said in the last few weeks when we started our second halves, start fast, start well, and we haven't. We've sort of like either almost conceded or have been on the back foot.
Yeah,
I didn't see that in the second half at Old Trafford, Batara.
Sorry, I'll be honest. I was literally looking at something here. I didn't even hear what you said. I'm so sorry.
Do you want me to jump in?
Go on, jump in.
Hoyland had a half chance header for 48 minutes. I think.
But that's it. It's a half chance.
Well, I thought it was a good chance, but when we was watching the highlights just before recording this, Bataro disagreed.
No. See,
it's the back of his head.
It's difficult.
Back of his head, his shoulder.
But it was his shoulder. Well, he obviously saw Diaz for Liverpool, thinking, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You use the shoulder, and he thought, I'll have a go at that.
Difficult chance, though. Honestly, it's difficult.
The point is, we got through that first 5, 10, 15 minutes, and you're thinking, okay, let's just keep this up. Can we keep a clean sheet? It's almost impossible to keep a clean sheet there, isn't it, for some teams? And teams at our level, would you not agree?
The way the game was unfolding and the way they were crossing the ball and having Kaminsky for those couple of wonderful moments, I did see it being a 0-0 or something like that. It was only going to take some naff goal, which it did, to undo
I
us.
just remember thinking to myself, if we concede now, I'll be so gutted.
Yeah.
It was almost like, and like you say, they get the goal and it's just absolutely nothing as well.
On the day itself, I was thinking we could just see it through. The goal itself was a bit poor, wasn't it? We had a couple of chances to clear from the corner, and it hit the back legs of somebody. I can't see who it was, and it falls to
Lindelof.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to pronounce it, but thanks, boys.
Probably hasn't scored for about 6 years either as well.
When you're 6 yards out, you don't score, then you shouldn't be playing. That was it was an easy goal, and it's so disappointing because all that hard work.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The hard work, the meticulous planning, the positional play, and then just one naff moment, and that's it. And then you got a real uphill battle on your hands.
But we didn't give up, and we carried on. No. We created some more chances. It just wasn't our day. And I'm going to go with that. It just wasn't our day. Just before we finish talking about the game, I just want to talk about the 72nd minute, because the ovation that Jordan Clark got for when he came on that pitch was amazing. Yeah, and absolutely right as well. He's been the best free transfer.
Yeah, he's been brilliant.
He has to be. I know we've had some absolute belters, but for me, he's been the best free transfer. And, the way he's adapted to the different levels and imposed himself. He's so calm on the ball.
Adaptable to positions as well.
Two-footed, brilliant.
And we've always got that Wembley moment from him.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
That's
always.
the main thing,
So forever, he'll be a name that we'll always remember.
Yeah.
It's good to see him on. 8 minutes goes up. Thought we might get another chance. We had a free kick, Barkley into the wall.
That was disappointing.
If Townsend was on the pitch, would he have taken it? I don't know. But you know what? You come away, the ending of that game, 1-0, when Manchester United are wasting their own time just to get to the end.
The whole of the second half, to be fair, weren't they, wasting time? It was just ridiculous. I mean, as soon as they come under any pressure, possession-wise or whatever, it's almost like, let's try and slow the game down. Let's try and it was quite embarrassing.
They were a team very short of confidence and self-belief.
Literally like we said at the beginning, that they were very short. You could see it, but and on the way back, obviously me and Dave listened to the radio on the way back on, I think, Talk Sport. And all I can remember is Dave kept going, fucking hell, why does none of the managers give us any credit, blah blah blah? Because obviously Ten Hag came out and was, this and that about us. Never once mentioned us. Yeah,
but he's worried about his own position, so he's going to big up his side of it, even if it's justified or not. Yeah. So anyway, don't worry about other people.
I just thought I'd mention that a little bit. Yeah,
we just keep our own.
It was more Dave, to be fair, to get more emotional, not me. But sorry, Dave.
I think sometimes credit where credit's due. Whether or not we won the game, we had a plan. We stuck to the plan, and actually we did well at Manchester. And that goes from the ovation the players got after the game after a 1-0 defeat. Mm-hmm. A lot of people say, well, it's your first season, you're going to cheer every game. But you know what?
I think a bit of novelty factor would be wearing off now, but with regards to that sort of reaction, and it isn't, because we're putting in a shift.
Yeah, that's all we ask as well. That's all we ask.
Well, we need to move on. We're going to run out of time otherwise. But I'm going to say about the whole Old Trafford experience. For me, I loved going to watch Luton Town there. I wouldn't want to go there every week and sit in that silent stadium with the tourists watching Manchester United. But that's because I support Luton Town, obviously. And, brilliant day out. But sadly, the wrong result. We move on. We go on to the next thing, next game, Crystal Palace at home. And let's hope we get a better one than that. We're going to briefly look at Teden Mengi and... oh my goodness. What do you think of this player? Batara, you are really impressed by him.
Oh, mate, honestly, every time I see this guy playing, I think, what an absolute animal. He's a monster, mate. This guy, he's got it all. Has he got it all? I don't know how old the guy is. Was he 21, 22? But look, this guy is playing like an experienced player at this level. And considering he's been thrown in without really knowing the players too well, from the position that we were in with defensive options and whatever else, availability. But this guy, man, every week he is just performing and maybe outperforming what he should be like, because no one expected this. I thought, just be solid. But no, this guy can play football as well. He can defend, he can run, he's athletic, he's everything you need in a centre half. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to make a statement now. This guy's going far.
Right. I was going to say, do you love him as much as you love Mr. Bradley?
All right, you can't answer that question.
I've just asked the question.
No, Dave. You know the answer to that.
Him and Bradley are exclusive. That's, you know.
Right, I'm going to be honest. Before he joined us, I had no idea who he was.
No, same as that.
I know he was at Derby a couple of years ago. That's all I knew about him, to be fair.
I had no idea who he was. He's impressed me, Steve. What about you?
Yeah, really good. He doesn't look the tallest of defenders. I don't know how tall he is, but...
he's about 6'1", 6'2", maybe, yeah.
Well,
I think he's quite
everyone's taller than you, Steve.
I was going to say, the crankers are taller than me, though, honestly. No, as Bataro said, he's aggressive, he's strong, he's got pace, but I think his positional play is decent. I think he's working well within the unit. I'm really chuffed to bits that he's on our side,
brilliant.
and long may it continue,
He's a very strong player. He's very intelligent as well with his movement.
Mate. Yeah. I mean, I say we didn't know what to expect when he first came into the club. It was like, who's this guy? And obviously, when he first got put into the team, because obviously through injuries and whatever else, I'm not saying I was worried, but I was a bit like, it's a bit of a tough one for him. Is he going? And I'll tell you what, he must have some strong mentality or whatever.
I can say he's got really good game awareness as well.
He's confident as well. He's
within the defensive unit. He just seems to. He takes understand
charge.
It all,
and he takes charge as well. I think he looks like a leader as well.
Timing of his tackles is really good. No, it's been really good how he stepped up to the plate.
And I think he's a starter for me now as well. I can't see him.
Well, that was my next question.
Oh, sorry, Dave.
It's all right. It's fine. I was going to say, if everybody else in the squad is fit, is he the first name on the sheet?
Yeah, for me at the moment he is. He's the best defender at the moment, performance-wise.
I think you've got to do well to get him out of the team at the moment. Absolutely.
He's fantastic, mate. He really is.
Who do you leave out to keep him in? I love the silence.
Oh, I hate this. I always hate this question, to be fair. Who do you offend?
I've just got a horrible feeling that if everyone is fit and performing, Lockyer doesn't start.
Do you know what? I agree. That's what I was about to say. But
I love him to bits, but I just think pace-wise, I think that's where the struggle is.
Your club captain doesn't start.
Yeah,
I think you have to have different players. Like, not different players. I'm not saying they're whatever. But for me, it would be Amari Bell, Mengi on form at the moment, and if fit, it's either out of Osho or Burke.
Yeah,
I mean, Tom Lockyer is good as anyone, but I'm talking about on form and performances. I'm not saying this isn't. I don't want to say anything bad about the guy. It's not bad. It's no criticism. It's like, just unfortunately sometimes you have to try different things, I think, and just For me, I'd love to see Lockyer. For me, when I see Lockyer in the team, it's not like, oh God, he's playing. Nothing like that.
Lockyer had a fantastic game Saturday.
Yeah, he did. He's a fantastic player.
Yeah, and it would also take a lot of the natural leadership that he gives. That would come out of the team.
That's the only thing where I think
so that would have to be a factor. Who would take over that? I'm the captain, and everyone buys into it role, because everyone listens to Lockyer.
Yes.
He's a real genuine captain. But I just think on play, I think he's the one that's vulnerable. And
here's another question then. If Mengi stays with us and becomes a real part of Luton Town and the back, does he end up getting himself into that position where they go, okay, your turn to be captain?
I mean, I don't know what he's like as a human being, to be fair, or how he performs in training, or what his communication. I mean, we don't know what he's like, but potentially, I genuinely can't answer that question, because, like I said, I don't know. We don't know.
I've not seen enough of him with regards to that being a leader. I'll tell you who does. You can see it on the pitch all the time, who's got that leadership and organising skills, and that's Ogbene.
Well, I knew you was going to say that. Mm-hmm. And these are the players like Ogbene, and for me, Mengi, if we don't stay in the league, we have to keep. So we'll see how that goes. We asked you guys, what have you made his performances so far? Does he start at first choice if everyone else is fit? Ryan says, the kid is going to be top. If it wasn't for injuries, he would have got the chance at United. His pace, along with his strength, suits our way of playing to a T. If he stays fit, he's definitely going to be one of the first names on the team sheet for me. A proper ball-playing centre-half. Kevin, Wasn't wholly convinced by what I saw in his first couple of matches, but I was impressed with the last 2 games in particular. He's made a number of critical interceptions and looks pretty comfortable at this level now. And should get better too. He's only young, right?
Yeah.
So what can I tell you? You can't just jump in quickly. What I will say as well, Man United actually wanted to keep him on as well. He was, I think, I read he was basically the last of his age group.
You're right.
To be kept on to Man United as well. So, and that's how high they thought of him. So, yeah.
It says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
LTFC meme says the man is class. He's a definite starter for us. Young legs with an old head are a killer combination. Hopefully we'll keep him fit and he's a really bright future with us.
Yeah.
Chaz believes, yes, he's our best centre-back. None better at positioning, technical awareness, speed of thought and movement, passing accuracy and physical strength. Looks our most likely future England player.
Wow, that's a big statement.
Well, let's know that one. Someone go and put a couple of quid on that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Chris says, a really good start to his Luton career and they can see the potential. When all the centre-backs are fit, there is a good competition. Lockyer starts, probably with Osho and Bell for pace, but Mengi and Burke are great options. And finally, Lee says, for such a young player, he's solid and reliable. He's only going to get better. Super signing. As much as I love Burke, his fitness makes him unreliable. Lockyer, Mengi and Osho as our starting 11 centre-backs, in my honest opinion.
Yeah.
That's another thing as well, like I say, fitness with Burke as well. That's why actually maybe he probably doesn't start, to be fair. So
That is such a shame, isn't it?
We've even forgot about Mads.
Jeez, yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
It's crazy
So many
that
players
we
who got injured.
Yeah, and when you think about our squad and you forget to mention players that we were really impressed with.
Yeah.
And let's face it, all these vendors that we've got, it's like I said, we're only making an opinion, but these players, it was saying, oh, certain people miss out. It's not because they're bad footballers, they're very, very good footballers. It's just the balance. That's all it is. I think for balance along the back 3-4, whatever it is.
Burke must be absolutely gutted about his fitness record. It must be doing his head in.
Because when he's on form, he's really, really good.
Well, he was another one at West Ham. And my moment was used to bang on about it. Reece Burke, great player, but can't keep himself fit.
And a real goal for it.
Yeah.
A real goal for it.
Ball playing centre half, brilliant at the back. But yeah, look, they're all great players. They're all brilliant players, aren't they?
So we're heading to international break time now. Something that I just can't get used to. It seems like we get going and then we stop. We get going and then we stop. It's like club news today, Crystal Palace game sold out. You'd expect that anyway. And if you're lucky enough to be someone who can get a ticket for Brentford away, it's only 1,700. That's a good day out. Stadium's great. The atmosphere's great. It'll be a good day out if you can get it. I want to briefly touch on the donations that some Luton fans have made to the Hillsborough funds and helped raise it up to 21k, which is, is a good thing. And there's a lot of it. It's all about the chanting the other week. And we've done that one. Next 5 fixtures, fellas, as always, Crystal Palace, Brentford, and then you look and go, oh God, Manchester City. Don't we have Arsenal as well?
Yeah, I thought we had Arsenal as well in there.
And
Same
Newcastle.
week, isn't it?
Yeah,
we've got Arsenal, Man City next to each
One's
other.
Tuesday, one's Saturday or whatever, isn't it?
And
Tuesday,
then,
Wednesday,
so
yeah.
producer Jacob, he needs to look at his fixtures better.
God,
Let's call it next 6 fixtures.
No.
Because Arsenal's in there somewhere.
No, because Bournemouth is not where he's put it.
So Bournemouth's got to be scrubbed out, is it?
Bournemouth is when, sadly, I'm away in Australia.
Right, yeah, okay, mate.
So we've got Palace, Brentford, Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle.
Slim pickings, innit?
I'll tell you what, though, I know people say about Newcastle, but the way the situation they're in currently with their injuries, they're not in a good place. And if it's like that till after Christmas, then...
It feels like Palace at home.
We need to get points.
Yeah, it's an important one.
Massive, yeah.
We've got to get some goals, and we've got to get that win. I mean, there's no doubting that the players want it desperately, again, but I just feel that it's important.
Whatever happens this season, it's a bit of a roller coaster ride. It's up and downs, and we're having a great time. I always say if we're not going to win, let's score first, give us some happiness. But I generally think we have chances against Crystal Palace. I don't know about Brentford away. It could be a tough fixture. Brentford are no mugs. They've been in the league.
No, they're good.
And they played well.
Solid team, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll play to their strengths. And then hopefully Manchester City, if we get anything out of Manchester City, it would be a bloody miracle.
Just break Haaland's legs, isn't it? Fine.
Oh, don't do that.
I could physically, technically, if I did it.
Sign Roy Keane.
If you do it, you're banned for life.
Oh yeah.
That-
I was just thinking of the team though. You know, the great
Yeah,
cause.
taking one for the team,
Yeah,
a
that's
life
it.
ban.
Yeah, Manchester City, Newcastle. It depends what Newcastle you get, doesn't it, with their injuries. So at the end of the day, we just need to get some more points on the board. It would be
Yeah.
lovely. I'd still want to get over that 11 points really
Yeah.
soon, but
It'll
two
come, it'll
wins
come.
does that. Two
Yeah.
wins does that.
Dave,
There's no
it'll come,
way. There's no way
nah.
we're not getting 2 further wins.
Oh no, he says that now. He's cursed, isn't he? Oh no.
No, there is no way.
No,
we're not-
it's not consideration.
No, there's no way we're not going to get over that point. So enjoy the international break for people and you too as well.
It's boring though, no football. I mean, there is Northern Irish
Well, there's
football
there's
tonight.
international football. Talking of which, you
There's
think about
Northern Irish football on.
international players going out on international duty: Bell, Kaminsky, Lockyer, Ogbeni, Kabore, Brown, and even Joe Taylor.
Joe Taylor, he's playing for Wales. Is he Welsh?
His country.
Sorry, man, this guy. Come mate.
On Bell, because apparently he's getting close to fitness. This could be absolutely wonderful for him to get some match time.
And so, depending when they're playing,
Well,
it's Jamaica, a bit hot weather as well.
Yeah, even if it's just 45 minutes or something, but that could accelerate his sort of getting back to match fitness for us.
The other side of international duty is international injuries, and that's something that
That's
concerns
the
me.
thing I hate, yeah. But like you say,
I think we've been fairly lucky so far, though, with them. I don't recall players
What,
coming back
internationally, you
before.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever happens, we are not podcasting next week because of the international break, unless something comes up that we can talk about. Please, if you're watching on
Gardening.
YouTube... Sorry?
Gardening. Talk about gardening next week's podcast.
He's such a weed.
Okay. Dad jokes. Just keep to yourself today.
We're like we're idiots, aren't we?
Just stop me in my tracks there. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave some comments and tell us your thoughts about Luton Town or the Luton Man United game or Teden Mengi or anything else you want to talk to us about. Before I go, I do need to say hello to Lauren and her dad, Kevin. Lauren, we met Bataro a while ago when we was at Bournemouth away. And I promised her a mention. I promised her a mention that day, and I forgot to do it. And Kevin, who we stood next to at Old Trafford on Saturday, reminded me of that fact. So, Lauren, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Kevin, thanks for watching and listening. Everybody else, thanks for watching and listening. We love your comments. If you'd love to see you when we're out, come over, say hello, and we'll see you.
And we're just sorry that Dave's a bad human being for forgetting people. So, yeah. Sorry, mate.
And on that note, we'll say good night.
Good night.
Have a good one.